Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning,
Rufai.
And good morning, Tundu.
Good morning.
Now, let's go straight to this day newspaper, Nigerian newspaper of records. The lead story. With a friend like Wike, Obaseki meets his PDP's Waterloo. Almost. I will add, not yet. Port Harcourt Court restrains Edo governor. Talks continue. One aspirant stepped down. Others refused. Party extend date for sale of nomination forms for Ondo deputy governor. Now, this is a very complex story that tells you about the complex nature of the Nigerian politician and Nigerian politics. If I just read the first paragraph, perhaps Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki may have to go back to Nigeria School of Governance to learn the practical rudiments of Nigerian Politics 101, which teaches you that the political enemy of your friend is not necessarily your friend. Yes, yesterday, a court in Port Harcourt, Federal High Court, stopped Obaseki, at least for now, from participating in the PDP primary. Hearing continues today, I must add. Now, the last time I checked, Governor Wike is still the governor of Rivers State, head of the executive branch of government, not the judiciary. And the court we are talking about is a federal high court, but based in Port Harcourt. So let's just make that clear. But the story is this. Now, Ogbeide Ihama, Omorege Ogbeide Ihama, the PDP aspirant who took this case to court, is an ally of Governor Wike. Now, Obaseki is also known as being backed by Rotimi Amechi, the immediate past governor of Rivers State. Now, if you put this together, you know the state, I want to say enmity, political enmity, let's put it that way, between Wike and Amechi. And you see perhaps the hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob playing out here. And for Obaseki, I think it is quite complex. But in that suit, everybody that can make something happen in the PDP for Obaseki is being sued. Uche Sekondo, the chairman, Emmanuel Ogidi, vice chairman of PDP South-South, James Manager, they are all part of the being sued. Now, what is going to happen tomorrow when the court, today when the court reconvenes? Will Obaseki be stopped totally? Because what the Ogbeide Ihama is praying is that only those who have bought the forms and properly cleared within the stipulated time should be allowed to contest. What of the place of waiver which they have given to Obaseki? Well, the court will also look, I'm sure the court will look at all that. So it's quite complex for Obaseki right now, an intriguing situation. But one of the aspirants had stepped down for him. And another, Maswagbon, well, is still not decided yet. So for Obaseki, it is not Uhuru, and I don't believe it is from fry pan to fire also. Ruben,
well, he's kind of in limbo, isn't he, at the moment? And that sort of makes more sense about why Pastor Ize Yamu offered that olive branch and asked him to come back to APC. Let's hope he doesn't have to use that olive branch and return.
Well, I think what we're dealing with here is realpolitik. It's in the nature of politics for people to rely on intrigues, and that's clearly what we have seen. I don't agree with you that Obaseki has not jumped from frying pan to fire. It may well end up at the end of the day that he has actually jumped from frying pan into fire. Yesterday on this program, we pointed out that there are other stakeholders in the PDP who may be aggrieved that, Obaseki was going to be handed the ticket just freely like that. Emmanuel had made it very clear that he had been in politics for more than 16 years and his ambition had been to be a governor, and that he would not allow a situation whereby he would just be pushed aside for anybody else. Now, the truth of the matter is that we have also seen that there are also outside interests involved in the politics of those states. The role of Rotimi Amechi is now being pointed to. The role of Wike, the governor of Rivers, is being pointed out. He himself had made it clear when he said he will come to Edo State to help teach Oshiomhole a lesson. So I think, for Governor Obaseki, he's probably going to learn some very hard political lessons. How he navigates this is important. But what is clear at the moment is that he has been able to stand up as a man to say that, look, Oshiomhole will not dictate to him. He will take his destiny in his hands. Now, how does he manage that destiny? With the litigations that have emerged, and these litigations are not going to end. Even after the primaries, we should expect more drama in Edo State. But as we continue to insist on this program, all the gladiators should remind themselves that this politics is not about them. It's about the people of Edo State.
Hopefully. Yes, if I may just add, there are also some bigs within the PDP who are suspecting that if they give Obaseki the ticket and he wins, he may just return to the APC. Perhaps he has some deal with some APC governors. But that's just an aside. It's also part of this story by this day.
Mr. Efeni, just to point out,
yes.
When particularly is the case? Is it tomorrow? Today?
It's today. It's today because the first hearing was yesterday.
No, is it not tomorrow?
It's not tomorrow?
For the next hearing of the case, because it's a day before the primaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a day before the primaries.
That means it's tomorrow.
That's Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
The primary is on Thursday.
Yeah.
That means it's tomorrow.
Okay. On the other hand, Ize-Iyamu, Pastor Osage Ize-Iyamu, has picked the APC ticket. Good for him. You called it coronation yesterday. But also, there's value in coming second. I just want to point that out because, there are also cases challenging the eligibility of Ize-Iyamu to contest that primaries. That matter is also still in court. Let's move on to other stories. Now, President Buhari is intervening, according to the headlines of today's newspapers. And I will read them. The Nation newspaper, anti-Oshiomhole governors submit position to Buhari. While the Punch newspaper, APC Peace Panel gets 170 petitions, blames COVID-19 for delayed sitting. While the New Telegraph, APC crisis, Amechi's loyalists threatening to burn down rivers. Minister Abe's camp fights dirty over party structures. Then, of course, the Daily Trust, rescue APC. Governors beg Buhari. Now, with President Buhari ready to intervene. With all these intrigues, we are seeing threats here and there. Yes, you have pointed out that perhaps President Buhari is coming late to the party of settling these disputes. But I don't know whether his capacity to handle this myriad of intrigues within the APC.
I can imagine, Mr. Efeni. Two things I've learned this week. Number one,
yes.
Interest is more than the plight of the people. And secondly, the word of a politician is like the rudder of a ship. Two lessons I've learned in the course of this week.
Or did you just learn that this week? I'm surprised.
I reiterated this message this week. All right, that's about all on the news headlines.